Welcome to Mastering the American Accent. This audio will help non-native speakers of English learn to speak with an American accent.
Which American accent will I learn? You will learn to produce the standard American accent. Some people also call it broadcaster English. It's the kind of standard neutral speech that you hear on CNN and in educated circles. It's a non-regional American accent, meaning that people don't associate the dialect with any particular part of the United States. It's the accent most commonly associated with educated people in the American East, Midwest, and West. How should I practice? Listen to this recorded material over and over. You will hear words and sentences pronounced, followed by a pause for you to repeat after the speaker. You may want to record yourself repeating so that you can compare your accent to the accents of the speakers on the audio. Then, practice the new sounds in real-life situations. Chapter 1. The Vowel Sounds. The English alphabet has 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, but it has about 15 main vowel sounds. For some learners, this is one of the most difficult aspects of American English to master. Speakers of languages which have fewer vowel sounds are likely to speak English using only the same number of sounds that exist in their native language. Sometimes they do not even hear the distinction between certain sounds in English. Consequently, non-native speakers might pronounce hill and heel the same. Similarly, the words sell and sail, cup, cop, and cap may also sound the same when spoken by a non-native speaker. In this chapter, you will learn how to accurately pronounce all of the main American English vowel sounds. First, you will be briefly introduced to each of the vowel sounds. Then, you will study each sound in detail. At that point, you will learn the correct lip and tongue positions of each sound. Then, you will have an opportunity to practice them in word groups and in sentences. You will also practice the sound contrasts so that you can learn to clearly distinguish between the different vowel sounds that may have previously sounded the same to you. The main vowel sounds of American English. Number 1, E.
Read. Heat. Meet. Seat. Scene. Feet. Please eat the meat and the cheese before you leave.
Number 2, it. In. Bit. This. Give. Sister. Will. City. My sister Linda will live in the big city. Number 3, A.
Late. Gate. Bait. Fail. Main. Braid. Wait. Jane's face looks great for her age of 88.
Number 4, let. Get. End. Any. Fell. Bread. Men. Said. I went to Texas for my friend's wedding. Number 5,
Last. Apple. Add. Can. Answer. Class. The handsome man lost his baggage after his travels.
Number 6, stop. Lock. Farm. Want. Army. Possible. Got. John is positive that his car was parked in that lot. Number 7.
Come, up, jump, but, does, love, money, about. Your younger brother doesn't trust us, does he?
Number 8. All, fall, author, also, applaud, thought, fought. Paula was doing laundry all day long. Number 9. O.
Go, slow, so, those, post, moment, drove. Oh no, don't open the window, it's cold.
Number 10. Look, took, put, foot, full, wolf, cookie. He would read the good book if he could. Number 11. Ooh.
Cool, soup, moon, boot, tooth, move, true. Sue knew about the food in the room.
Number 12. Her, work, sure, first, early, were, earn, occur. What were the first words that girl learned? Number 13. I.
Time, 9, dry, high, style, 5, China. I advise you to ride a bicycle in China.
Number 14. Ow. South, house, cow, found, down, town. He went out of the house for about an hour. Number 15. Oi.
Oil, choice, moist, enjoy, avoid, voice. Let's avoid the annoying noise.
Production of vowels. We categorize vowels as front, middle, or back, depending on which part of the tongue is used to produce the sound. For example, E is a front vowel because the front part of the tongue goes up in front of the mouth. And U is a back vowel because the back part of the tongue goes up in the back part of the mouth. We also categorize vowels as high or low. In high vowels, the tongue is pushed up higher near the roof of the mouth, as in E, and in low vowels, the tongue is flat down at the bottom of the mouth, as in ah. Diphthongs consist of two different vowel sounds that are closely joined together and treated as one vowel. They are represented by two phonetic symbols. To create these sounds, move your tongue smoothly from one vowel position to another. The following vowels are diphthongs. A as in take, O as in boat, I as in time, ow as in house, and oi as in boy. You will now learn how to correctly produce each of the vowels. E as in meat. The lips are slightly smiling, tense, and not rounded, and the tongue is tense. It is high and far forward near the roof of the mouth. The common spelling patterns for this sound are double E as in meet, feel, see, and free, EA as in team, reach, mean, and see, IE or EI as in belief, peace, neither, receive, final E as in me, we, she, he, an E plus a consonant plus an E as in these, Chinese, Peter, final Y as in city, duty, country, ability, and endings with IQUE as in unique, boutique, critique. Word pairs.
Deep sea. Beans and cheese. Severe heat. Breathe deep. 3 meals.
Green leaves. Extremely easy. Sweet dreams. Peaches and cream. Speak Chinese. Sentences for practice.
The employees agreed to meet at 8:15. Don't keep the TV near the heater. It's extremely easy to cheat when the teacher isn't here. Please speak to Peter about the employee meeting. Steve will reread the email before he leaves.
I as in sit. The lips are slightly parted and relaxed. The tongue is also relaxed and high, but not as high as for the E sound. The sides of the tongue touch the upper back teeth. The common spelling patterns for this sound are the letter I, and that's the most common one, as in sit, give, this, dinner, UI, as in build, quit, quick, guilty, and Y if it's between two consonants, as in system, gym, symbol, and hymn. Exceptions. In American English, the word been, as in how have you been, is pronounced as I, but in British English it sounds like E, the same as the food beans. Also, in the word women, the O is pronounced as I, women. Word pairs.
Big city. Innocent victim. Drink milk. Children's film. Simple living.
Fish and chips. Trip to Italy. Spring picnic. This thing. Winter wind. Sentences for practice.
Kim will visit her big sister Linda in Virginia. In the beginning, it was difficult for Jim to quit drinking. The Smiths invited him to an informal dinner. This city has an interesting history. When did Bill Clinton visit the Middle East?
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for E and I. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Leave, live. Feel, fill. Least, list. He's, his. Sleep, slip. Cheap, chip.
Beat, bit. Steal, still. Each, itch. Seek, sick. Feet, fit. Sheep, ship. Word combinations for E and I. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Still sleepy. Very interesting. Feeling ill. It's easy. Is he?
Big deal. These things. Middle East. Little meal. Green pill. A as in take. The lips are not rounded and they are relaxed, and the tongue is tense, moving from mid-high position to high position. The common spelling patterns for this sound are A plus consonant plus E as in late, came, take, and save, AI as in rain, wait, pain, aim, AY as in say, away, play, Monday, EY as in they, survey, obey, and EIGH as in weigh, ate, neighbor, and freight. The less common spelling also includes the letter A as in April, alien, and angel. Word pairs.
The same day. Stay away. Escape from jail. Take a break. Stay the same.
Explain the situation. Play baseball. 88. Bake a cake. Save the whales. Sentences for practice.
She complained about her weight, but ate the cake anyway. Jake hates waiting for trains and planes. It rains and hails in April and May. I will stay in the game even though it's late. My neighbor from Spain moved away today.
As in get. The lips are farther apart than for the A, and the lips are relaxed. The tongue is also relaxed and in the mid-high position. The common spelling patterns for this sound are the letter E, as in get, end, next, general, and the letters EA, as in heavy, head, read, and measure. And the spelling exceptions include the words said, says, again, against, any, many. Warning, common mistake. The verb say is pronounced with an S sound in the past tense and in the present tense when it is followed by an S. For example, I say, but I said. He says. Don't say, I said and he says. Word pairs.
Presidential election. Bend your legs. Plenty of energy. Remember the pledge. Better friend.
Heavy metal. Get better. Elegant dress. Next Wednesday. Well read. Sentences for practice.
Without some extra effort, you will never excel. Jenny and her friend had eggs for breakfast. I expect this session to end at 10. On the 7th of February, the weather was wet. I see my best friend Fred every 7 days.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for e and a. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Pen, pain. Sell, sail. Wet, wait. West, waste.
Tell, tail. Ed, aid. Test, taste. Men, main. Word combinations for e and a. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Less rain. Taste test. Neck pain. Fell away.
Wet day. Main men. Great dress. Headache. A as in fat. The lips are open, not rounded, and the tongue is in the lowest position of all the front vowels. The tongue is flat on the floor of the mouth. The common spelling pattern for this sound is the letter A, as in hat, apple, man, and answer. Word pairs.
Bad example. National anthem. Back at the ranch. Accurate answer. Bad habit.
Practical plan. Annual gathering. Last chance. Handsome actor. Angry man. Sentences for practice.
This is your last chance to give me an accurate answer. Sam sat at the back of the math class. Danny had a salad and a sandwich in the cafeteria. Nancy has a bad attitude in her Spanish class. Kathy would rather study acting at the National Academy.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for e and a. Make sure that you don't pronounce these words the same.
Men, man. Said, sad. end, and. Then, than.
Guess, gas. Slept, slapped. Head, had. Expensive, expansive. Word combinations for e and a. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Sad endings. Less land. Angry men.
10 gallons. Last exit. Bad friend. Ah, as in father. For the ah sound, the lips are apart as if you're yawning. The lips are not rounded. The tongue is relaxed and flat at the bottom of the mouth. The common spelling patterns for this sound are O, as in hot, stop, modern, and job, and A, as in father, watch, dark, and want. Word pairs.
Common problem. Body shop. Occupy the office. Office politics. From top to bottom.
Logical response. Hot topic. Modern hospital. Non-stop. Sloppy job. Sentences for practice.
Ronald is confident that he got the job. Scott goes to a lot of rock concerts. The doctor operated in the modern hospital. Bob will probably lock the office. He's got a lot of dollars in his pocket.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for a and ah. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Hat. Hot. Lack. Lock. Sack. Sock. Sang. Song.
Cap. Cop. Add. Odd. Rack. Rock. Tap. Top. Word combinations for a and ah. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Hot pan. Man's job. Top answer.
Got back. Bad dog. Back pocket. Advice from a successful student.
During my drive to and from work, I always listen to audiobooks. The speaker's voice is usually very clear and not sloppy like the speech I sometimes hear on the street. I listen closely to the accent of the speaker and try to imitate it. I play back certain parts over and over again. The more I do this, the better my accent gets.
As in fun. For the sound, the lips are completely relaxed and just slightly parted. The tongue is also very relaxed and in the middle position. The common spelling patterns for this sound are the letter U, as in but, fun, summer, drunk. The letter O, as in love, done, come, sun. The letters OU, as in cousin, country, and enough. Word pairs.
Young son. Jump up. Fun in the sun. Another subject. Wonderful mother.
Under the rug. Number 1. Undercover. Enough money. Sunday brunch. Sentences for practice.
Your younger brother doesn't trust us. What country does he come from? I had another fun summer in London. I don't have much stuff in the trunk of my truck. I love the sunny summer months.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for ah and Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Dawn, done. Shot, shut. Fond, fund. Got, gut.
Lock, luck. Non, none. Robber, rubber. Doll, dull. Word combinations for ah and Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Come on. Got lucky. Not enough. Cost much.
Fun job. Stop running. Jump on. Gunshot. Ah, as in saw. The lips are apart and very slightly rounded, and they're oval in shape, and the tongue is slightly tense and it's down near the floor of the mouth. The common spelling patterns for this sound include AW, as in saw, law, awful, and awesome. AU, as in author, August, applaud, audition. A plus L, as in small, walk, tall, always. OUGHT, as in bought, thought, fought. AUGHT, as in daughter, caught. And sometimes the letter O, as in gone, off, and long. Word pairs.
Pause in the hall. Awful thought. Water the lawn. Talk until dawn. Autumn in Austria.
Walk the dog. Small talk. Already exhausted. Tall wall. Caught the ball. Sentences for practice.
The audience applauded even though the talk was awful. His small daughter thought that Santa Claus would come in August. I saw your mother-in-law in the mall. He bought an automobile at the auction last fall. This sauce is awesome, Paula.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for and ah. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Cut, caught. Hull, haul. Done, dawn. Dug, dog.
But, bought. Sung, song. Cuff, cough. Flood, flawed. Word combinations for and ah. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Another dog. Long month. Much talk.
Bought lunch. Coffee cup. Small club. O, as in boat. For the O, the lips are very rounded and tense, and the tongue is a bit tense, and it moves from the mid-high to the high position. The common spelling patterns for this sound include the letter O, as in no, don't, home, only, OA, as in road, coat, boat, OW, as in own, slow, window, and OUGH, as in though and although. Word pairs.
Phone home. Own a home. Almost over. Open road. Drove slowly.
Don't smoke. Low profile. Slow motion. Old poem. Golden bowl. Sentences for practice.
We both hope it's going to snow. Oh no, don't open the window. It's cold. Do you want to go bowling or roller skating? I chose a bowl of soup, potatoes, roast beef, and a soda. I don't know if Joan smokes.
Quick review. Sound contrasts for ah and ah versus o. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Bought, boat. Law, low. Clause, close. Odd, owed. Want, won't.
Caught, coat. Walk, woke. Not, note. Got, goat. Non, known. Word combinations for ah, and o. Make sure that the two words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Old law. Not home. Those dogs.
Odd boat. Walk slowly. Only daughter. As in good. The lips are very rounded and the tongue is relaxed. The back of the tongue is raised and slightly higher than for the O. The common spelling patterns for this sound are the double O as in good, look, childhood, and understood. The letter U as in push, full, pull, and sugar. OULD as in would, could, and should. And the spelling exception is the word woman, which is spelled with an O. Word pairs.
Good book. Took a look. Good looking. Fully cooked. Shook his foot.
Sugar cookie. Push and pull. Wool pullover. Wooden hook. Good childhood. Sentences for practice.
Would you help me look for my book? The sugar cookies taste good. The butcher is a good cook. He would read the book if he could. Butch visited his old neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Oo as in two. For the oo sound, the lips are tense and rounded as if you're blowing a balloon, and the tongue is slightly tense and raised high. The common spelling patterns for this sound include a double O, as in to, food, school, tool. UE, as in true, blue, avenue. An O, as in do, who, lose, and prove. EW, as in new, blue, drew. And the letter U, as in super, rule, duty, student. Word pairs.
Too few. Fruit juice. Soup spoon. New suit. True value. Blue shoes.
New moon. Suitable suitcase. 2 rooms. Super cool. Sentences for practice.
The new roof was installed in June. I drink fruit juice and eat a lot of soup. Your blue shoes are really cool. I need proof that you're telling the truth. The statue on the avenue is truly beautiful.
Quick review. Vowel contrasts for and u. Make sure that you don't pronounce these pairs of words the same.
Full. Fool. Look. Luke.
Pull. Pool. Stood. Stewed. Word combinations for and u. Make sure that the 2 words are pronounced with different vowel sounds.
Good food. Full room. Cook stew.
Blue book. 2 cookies. Too full. As in bird. For the sound, the lips are slightly rounded, the tongue is tense and at a mid-level position, and the tip of the tongue is curled up and pulled back. Common spelling patterns for this sound include ER, as in her, mercy, mother, winner. EAR, as in heard, learn, earth. IR, as in first, girl, firm. OR, as in doctor, word, worry. UR, as in occur, curtain, jury, URE as in insecure, culture, and AR as in grammar and collar. Word pairs.
First person. Purple shirt. Learn German. Other world. Serve dinner.
Third term. Firm words. Early bird. Nervous girl. 33rd. Sentences for practice.
I will work during the third term. They serve turkey for dinner. Her purple shirt is dirty. She gave birth to a third girl. It's not worth worrying about another birthday.
I as in time. For the I sound, the lips are open and not rounded, and they close a bit when moving to the I position. The tongue is relaxed, and it moves from a flat to high position. The common spelling patterns for this sound include the letter Y, as in fly, sky, apply, style. The letter I, as in nice, kind, fine, sign. The letters IGH, as in light, fight, sight, night. And the letters IE, as in lie, tie, and tried. Word pairs.
Lime pies. White wine. Fly a kite. Nice try. 9 lives.
Bright light. Fly high. Sign on the line. Fine dining. 99. Sentences for practice.
Why is the price so high for that design? The wildfire started on Friday night. He was tired after hiking for 5 hours. It's a 9-hour drive to Iowa. We had lime pie and dry white wine.
Ow, as in house. For the ow sound, the lips are not rounded, but as you move toward the second part, the oo, the lips begin to close and become more tense. The tongue moves from a relaxed low position to a high position. The common spelling patterns for this sound include OU, as in found, loud, around, thousand, OW, as in now, down, crowd, vowel. Word pairs.
About an hour. Crowded house. Downtown. Loud announcement. Countdown.
Around the mountain. Brown couch. Found out. Down and out. Pronounce the vowel. Sentences for practice.
I doubt that the clown will say something profound. There are flowers all around the house. Is that your spouse in the brown blouse? The clouds behind the mountain will bring showers. The brown cow is near the fountain.
Oi as in boy. The lips move from a slightly rounded oval position to a relaxed, slightly parted position. The tongue is relaxed, moving from a mid-high position to a high position. Common spelling patterns for this sound include OI, as in avoid, oil, moist, enjoin, and OY, as in enjoy, toy, employ, royal. Word pairs.
Enjoy the toy. Spoiled boy. Appointment in Detroit. Broiled oysters. Boiling point.
Annoying noise. Destroy the poison. Loyal employee. Moist soil. Avoid the moisture. Sentences for practice.
He destroyed the poison by flushing it down the toilet. Roy had an appointment in Detroit. Joyce is annoyed and a little paranoid. I was disappointed with Joy's choice. Why is Floyd avoiding Roy?
Chapter 2, Vowels in Detail. This chapter will give you a more detailed knowledge of the most problematic vowel sounds for non-native speakers. You will learn to clearly distinguish between certain sounds that may have seemed very similar to you in the past, and you will learn the common spelling exceptions for some vowel sounds within frequently used words. Memorizing these exceptions will significantly improve your accent. Review of I and E sounds. The I sound is easy to identify because it is almost always spelled with the letter I, as in big. The E sound is more commonly spelled with two vowels, such as double E or EA, as in meet or team. Remember to relax your tongue and lips for the I and to make them tense for the E. Warning: dangerous mistakes. Confusing I and E can cause embarrassment or can be offensive. Do you mean sheet or shit? Beach or bitch? Peace or piss? Dialogue 1 for I and E. Is it difficult?
No, it's unbelievably easy.
I feel ill.
Drink some green tea.
Please meet me for dinner.
I will be there at 6.
Is it expensive?
No, it isn't. It's really cheap.
I need a refill of these pills.
Speak with your physician.
Is he still really sick?
No, he's just feeling a little weak.
This is completely different.
But it is interesting, isn't it?
Practice paragraph. Guilty or innocent? Let's be realistic. It's not that difficult to see that he's guilty. He steals, drinks, and cheats. He has cheated his victims. And he needs to be in prison. He did these terrible things. Yet he insists that he's innocent. Who is he kidding? In the beginning, many people did believe that he was innocent. But now we have all the evidence that we need. Even though he won't admit his guilt, I foresee him being in prison for at least 15 years. Don't you agree with me? Review of and a sounds. Remember that for the a, the jaw is more open and the tongue is down at the floor of your mouth. And for the sound, the jaw is just slightly down. Sentence pairs for and a. The following pairs of sentences are the same, except the first one has a word with the sound, and the second one has a word with an a sound. Don't think about the pest.
Don't think about the past.
He gave me a letter.
He gave me a ladder.
Send it carefully.
Sand it carefully.
The men helped me.
The man helped me.
I need a new pen.
I need a new pan.
Do you need to beg?
Do you need a bag?
Word pairs in sentences and a. This bed is bad.
Dan is in the den.
She said that she was sad.
I guess I need gas.
They laughed after he left.
I bet that's a bat.
Sentences for practice, and a. Make sure that you pronounce the and the a sounds differently.
Every member of my family is left-handed.
My best friend Frank is a successful dentist.
Kenny's bad headache lasted several days.
Glenn drank 10 glasses of fresh lemonade.
Everyone was happy that he was elected president.
Don't forget to thank Dan for his generous present. Review of a, aw, and o sounds. These sounds are frequently confused. Non-native speakers sometimes do not clearly distinguish the difference between cup and cop and cap and cope. The sound. Remember, the sound as in fun or cup is a neutral vowel, meaning that everything in your mouth is relaxed and the lips are just very slightly open. The and the aw sounds. In contrast to the and the aw sounds, as in father and saw, require the mouth to be open. And aw are very similar sounds, except for the aw, the lips are a little bit more oval in shape and the tongue is slightly tense. However, in many parts of the United States, the and aw are pronounced the same. For example, many Americans pronounce hot and tall with the same vowel sound. The o sound. For the o sound, as in boat, the lips are rounded and tense. Warning, dangerous mistakes. Confusing aw, and o can cause embarrassment or can be offensive. Do you mean Doug or dog? Also, mispronouncing words like coke, focus, fork, and folk can cause you to say an inappropriate or offensive word. Vowel contrasts dialogue for aw, and o. Coffee tomorrow.
Hi, Nicole. Can you talk?
Oh, hi, John. Can you hold on? I'm on another call. I'm talking to my boss.
No problem. I'll wait till you're done.
Okay, now I can talk. I'm sorry it took so long. What's going on?
Nothing much. I just wanted to know if we can meet for lunch or coffee tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I've been working non-stop and I'd love to get out of the office.
The problematic O. Words spelled with the letter O can cause many frustrations for students of the American accent. You have already learned that the pronunciation of a vowel doesn't necessarily correspond to the spelling of the vowel. This is especially true of the letter O. The letters O in the words job, love, and only are all pronounced differently. Here is a quote by Helen Keller, which contains 14 different words spelled with the letter O and has all 3 different vowel pronunciations. You will hear the quote twice. First, just listen. The second time you hear it, you will have a chance to repeat. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. First, let's look at the most problematic sound with an O spelling. It's the neutral sound as in love, other, and Monday, which non-native speakers frequently mispronounce as lav, other, and Monday. The wrong pronunciation occurs because the sound doesn't exist in some languages, and also because learners are used to this sound usually being spelled with the letter U, as in up, fun, and Sunday. You will improve your American accent if you simply memorize some very common words with the sound that are spelled with an O, OU, or even sometimes a double O. Memorizing the exceptions. Words spelled with O but pronounced as above, another, brother, color, cover, come, does, done, dove, from, gonna, love, Monday, money, month, mother, none, nothing, of, once, one, other, oven, some, something, somewhere, sun, ton, tongue, one, wonderful. Words spelled with an OU and pronounced as double, country, couple, tough, Douglas, cousin, enough, touch, rough, southern. Words spelled with a double O and pronounced as blood, flood. Sentence pairs for and ah. The following pairs of sentences are the same, except the first one has a word with an ah sound, and the second one has a word with an sound.
You have a good lock.
You have good luck.
Where's that cop?
Where's that cup?
I shot it.
I shut it.
He's a big boss.
It's a big bus.
This is Don.
This is done.
The American ah sound. In American English, the ah sound, as in caught and all, is very similar to the ah sound, as in want and hot. In fact, these two sounds, ah and ah, are so similar in many parts of the United States that some language experts even claim that they're the same sound. So, while going through these lessons, if you're not able to clearly distinguish between these two vowels, don't worry about it. Neither can many native speakers of American English. Warning, common mistake. If you studied English outside of the United States, you might have learned British pronunciation. The vowel sound that is most noticeably different between British and American English is the ah. In British English, this sound is much more rounded, almost like the O. The words coat and caught sound similar in British English, but as you have learned, they're very different in American English. Let's practice pronouncing the differences between the two sounds ah and O. Sentence pairs for practice for ah and O. The following pairs of sentences are the same, except the first one has a word with an ah sound and the second one has a word with an O. He's a bald man.
He's a bold man.
Where's the ball?
Where's the bowl?
That's a big hall.
That's a big hole.
Don't pause now.
Don't pose now.
I have a big lawn.
I have a big loan.
Word pairs in a sentence for ah and O. I bought a new boat.
There's a ball in the bowl.
Did you call about the coal?
You ought to eat oats.
I was awed that he owed so much. Sentences for practice for ah and O. We all thought that Joe went to Rome.
I bought some clothes at the mall.
The audience applauded when the show was over.
Paul is going home in August.
We're going for a walk even though it's cold.
The author wrote his autobiography.
Review of e, a, ah, and o. Here is a quote by Mother Teresa which contains all of the vowels we just finished reviewing. You will hear the quote twice. First, just listen, and the second time you hear it, you will have a chance to repeat. I know God will not give me anything I can't handle. I just wish that He didn't trust me with so much. I know God will not give me anything I can't handle. I just wish that He didn't trust me with so much. Let's review the vowel sounds that we have been working on so far. Practice saying the following short words that contain the following vowel sounds: e, a, and o. Kept, cap, cop, cup, cope,
Kettle. Cat. Caught. cut, coat,
best, bass, boss, bus, boast,
shell, shadow, shone, shun, shown,
leg, lack, lock, luck, low,
net, gnat, knot, nut, note,
bet, bat, bought, but, boat,
lend, land, lawn, London, loan. Review of and sounds. Sound contrasts for practice for and oo. Remember, is a relaxed sound with lips almost neutral, just very slightly rounded, and oo is a tense sound. The lips are rounded and tense. Dialogues for practice.
Will you start to cook soon?
No, I'm still too full to think of food.
Who took my cookie?
Don't look at me.
You should have had some soup. It's so good.
No thanks, I'm really full.
He's foolish to walk in the woods by himself.
Yes, there are a lot of wolves in those woods.
I think that wolves howl when the moon is full.
Is that really true? Do you like my new boots?
Yes, they're cool.
And take a look at my blue suit. It's made of wool.
To tell you the truth, I wouldn't wear the blue suit if I were you.
Don't you think it looks good on me?
I think you should return it.
And I think you shouldn't be so rude.
Oo versus you. Some words that contain the letter U are sometimes pronounced differently in other English accents. Some British speakers often add an extra y sound before the oo. Non-native speakers who studied British English in their native countries are often surprised to learn that Americans say Tuesday instead of the British Tuesday. Similarly, you may have learned to say tune rather than tune. Words for practice. Here are some common words spelled with the letter U and pronounced as oo rather than you. For example, don't say student, say student. Attitude, costume, do, duty, gratitude, introduce, opportunity, produce, reduce, seduce, solitude, Stewart, stupid, student, studio, tube, Tuesday, tumor, tune, tutor. Sentences for practice. It's your duty to produce it by Tuesday.
Those students like iTunes and YouTube.
May I introduce you to my tutor?
The producer is in the studio working on a new tune.
I assume that it's due on Tuesday.
That's a stupid attitude, Stuart.
Review of the sound. The words work, turn, bird, and early are all spelled with a different vowel, yet the vowel sound is the same. This frequently happens when a vowel is followed by the letter R. The sound remains Non-native speakers are frequently tempted to pronounce the vowels as they're spelled, and they make the common mistake of saying work instead of work, or turn instead of turn, and sometimes even beard instead of bird. Words for practice. You will hear 5 words at a time, each having a different spelling, but the same sound. The words are spelled in this order: ER, EAR, IR, OR, and UR. Practice saying the words and make sure that the vowel sound doesn't change even though the spelling does. Number 1. Her, early, circle, work, turn.
Serve, earth, dirt, worry, curly.
Verb, earn, first, worse, burn.
Were, heard, girl, worm, Thursday.
Nerd, learn, birthday, world, hurt. Sentences for practice for the sound. What were the first words that she learned?
I will learn the German verbs by Thursday.
It's too early to serve dessert.
The third version is worse than the first.
It's not worth worrying about another birthday.
I heard some curse words at work.
They weren't certain that the earth circles the sun. Vowels followed by the R sound. The quality of the vowel often changes when the R follows it. There is a slight sound that is added after certain vowels, making it sound almost as if the word contains an extra syllable. For example, fire. Don't say fire, say fire. Words for practice, adding an extra sound before the sound. E plus R. Ear. Fear. Near. Here. Clear. Plus Far. Star. Hard. Large. Ow plus Hour. Sour. Power. Flower. I plus Higher. Tired. Expire. Ireland. O plus For, tore, more, bored. Plus hair, there, care, stairs. Sentences for practice. Take the stairs in case of fire.
The employer is hiring and firing.
I hear that it expired on the 4th.
I can't afford to shop in that store.
I am near the cashier by the stairs.
How far is Ireland from here?
Chapter 3, Consonants. Voiceless and voiced consonants. One way that we categorize consonants is by determining whether they're voiceless or voiced. It's important to know the difference between them because the length of the vowel that comes before is determined by whether the consonant that follows it is voiceless or voiced. You will learn more about this later in this chapter. Also, knowing whether a sound is voiceless or voiced will help you to correctly pronounce the ed endings and the s endings of words. You will learn this in detail in the next chapter. First, let's learn how to distinguish between a voiced and a voiceless consonant. Place your fingers in the front middle part of your neck. Now say z, as in the word zoo. Now, let's make it longer. Z. You should feel a vibration in your vocal cords. This is how you know that the z sound is voiced. Now, let's try this with the s sound, as in the word sat. Say s. Now, let's prolong it. S. This time, there was no vibration in your vocal cords. That's all there is to it. The tongue and lip positions of the z and the s are identical. The only difference between them is vibration or no vibration. Vowel length and voiced and voiceless consonants. Vowels are longer when followed by a voiced consonant and shorter when followed by a voiceless consonant. Even short vowels like I, e, and are prolonged when followed by a voiced consonant. For example, I followed by a voiced consonant sounds like I, as in big. Warning, common mistake. When you lengthen a vowel, make sure that you do not change the sound of the vowel. When you say hid, make sure that it doesn't sound like heed. Voiceless and voiced consonants. Word pairs for practice. The first word of the pair ends with the voiceless consonant and the second with the voiced one. Notice the difference in vowel length. S, z.
Advice, advise. Ice, eyes. Niece, knees.
D.
Mate, maid. Hat, had. Bet, bed.
V.
Half, have. Life, live. Belief, believe.
G.
Back, bag. Duck, dog. Duck, dug.
Sentence pairs for practice for voiceless and voiced consonants. You will hear two sentences. The first sentence has a word with the voiceless consonant, and the second sentence has a word with the voiced consonant.
My wallet is in the back. My wallet is in the bag. I saw $5 on the floor. I saw 5 bugs on the floor. He has blue ice. He has blue eyes. I heard about the lice. I heard about the lies.
Word pairs in sentences.
He told me lies about the lice. His eyes are ice cold. There was a buzz on the bus. The dog is on the dock.
Stops and continuance. There is another important way the consonants are categorized besides whether they're voiced or voiceless. Consonants can either be stops or continuants, depending on whether the airflow is stopped or if it's continued. For example, when we say the s sound, spelled with the letter S, we can prolong it by saying yes. The S sound is considered a continuant because the airflow can continue as long as we have air in our lungs. But if we say the word job, we cannot continue the final B sound. We stop the airflow by closing our lips. Therefore, B is a stop. If we quickly open our lips, we can then release the stop and say job. Holding final stops. Americans generally do not release many of the final stops. For example, when they say the letter P in the word stop, the lips stay closed. No air comes out. This creates almost a silent version of the sound P, or a half P. We know the P is there, but we don't hear all of it. If the lips were released, there would be a slight puff of air. Let's try another stop, the sound G. Don't say big, say big. Hold the final G sound by making sure that your tongue remains up in the back of the mouth when you're done saying the word. Words for practice. Final P.
Stop. Cup. Up. Shop.
Final B.
Club. Job. Sub. Tub.
Final D.
Married. Played. Sad. Dad.
Final T.
That. Sat. It. Cut.
Final stop followed by another consonant. The final stop is held when the next word within the same sentence is another consonant. However, when the final stop is at the end of the sentence, this rule is much more flexible. Sometimes the sound is released, as in, the house is big, or it's held, as in, the house is big. However, you wouldn't say, this is a big house. Instead, you would hold the G sound of the word big, and you would say, this is a big house. Word groups for practice. Make sure that you hold the final consonant of the first word of the pair.
Help him. Keep talking. Did that. Could go.
Stop that. Job market. Big park. Cupcake. You will learn more rules about pronouncing final consonants in Chapter 8, titled Sound Like a True Native Speaker. Chapter 4, Problematic Consonants. This chapter will help you to fix the most common consonant errors that non-native speakers of English make. The pronunciation of some of these sounds is exclusive to American English, and other times the pronunciation is difficult for non-native speakers because the sound does not exist in their native language. The various T sounds of American English. We'll start with one of the most distinctly American consonants, the letter T. The T can be pronounced in several different ways, depending on its position in a word and depending on the other sounds that surround it. Sometimes the T sounds more like a D, as in water and atom, and sometimes it's not pronounced at all, as in often and interview. Other times it's barely pronounced, as in but and cat. Also, it can change to a different sound when it's followed by an R, as in try or truth. The held T. As a simple awareness exercise, let's first practice saying the T sound so that you get a feeling of where in the mouth it occurs. Repeat saying the T, 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 t. You will notice that the tip of your tongue is touching and releasing your gum ridge, which is the upper part of your mouth right behind your front teeth. T, t, t. This is what we call the fully pronounced T. The tongue touches and releases. Held T plus a consonant. Always hold the final T when the next word begins with a consonant. Instead of saying at work, say at work. Word pairs for practice. It was. Might do. Can't go. At work. Didn't like. Won't need. 8 weeks. Budget cut. Always hold the T when the next letter within the same word is a consonant. Football. Outside. Lately. Nightmare. Atmosphere. Atlas. Atlanta. Butler. Sentences for practice for the held T. I might not do that.
It's not that great.
He built that website last night.
It felt quite hot in Vermont.
What? That can't be right.
Matt went out for a bite to eat.
That apartment felt quite hot.
If you eat out every night, you'll get fat.
Study tip. Make a list of the most common words that are used in your workplace, or if you're a student, the terminology in your field of study. Find out the correct pronunciation of these words. Also, master the pronunciation of the name of the company that you work for and the names of your American coworkers. This will greatly add to your confidence level when you're speaking in a professional situation. Held T before an N sound. When the T is followed by an N or an N sound within a word, make sure that you hold the T. For example, we don't say button or button, we say button. Hold the T as in but, and then add an N without releasing the tongue from the gum ridge. Button. Similarly, don't say written or ridden, say written. Don't say kitten or kitten, say kitten. Words for practice. Certain. Gotten. Mountain. Lighten. Cotton. Britain. Eaten. Written. Forgotten. Frighten. Sentences for practice. T plus N sound. I will shorten the curtain.
He has eaten the rotten food.
I'm certain that it was written in Britain.
I've already forgotten the sentence.
That cotton blouse has buttons.
Martin Luther King and Bill Clinton are famous Americans.
T after N. The T after an N or an N sound is often silent. Instead of saying internet, you will frequently hear Americans say internet. This is fairly standard speech, and it's not considered overly casual or sloppy speech. Words for practice. Interview. 20. Disappointing. Accountable. Dentist. Intellectual. Quantity. Advantages. International. Center. Cantaloupe. Plenty. Santa Monica. Atlanta. Orange County. Sacramento. Dialogues for practice.
There are many advantages to working for that international company.
I'll be disappointed if they don't call me for an interview.
I hear they're looking for someone with interpersonal skills and plenty of energy.
It's only 20 minutes from Santa Monica. When T is between two vowels. The T sounds like a fast D sound when it's between two vowels. When a T is between two vowels, it's generally pronounced like a fast D sound. We don't say better, we say better. It also sounds the same as the rolling R sound that sounds like R of many languages, where the tip of the tongue touches the upper gum ridge. This sound is also sometimes called a tapped T because you quickly tap the tip of the tongue on the gum ridge. Listen to the following 3 pairs of sentences. The first sentence of each pair is pronounced with a foreign accent or a British accent. The second sentence is an American sound. It's better and better. It's better and better. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I ate a lot of meat. I ate a lot of meat. The T becomes a fast D in the following cases. Between two vowels, we don't say better, we say better. Before an L, we don't say little, we say little. After an R and a vowel, we don't say party, we say party. We don't say 40, we say 40. Note, the T does not change to a fast D sound if the T is within a stressed syllable. We don't say attack, we say attack. Words for practice. City. Duty. Better. Ability. Total. Matter. Meeting. Quality. When T is between two words. This fast D also occurs between two separate words when the first word ends with a vowel and a T, and the next word begins with a vowel. For example, not at all sounds like not at all. Again, this is not sloppy or casual speech. It is a standard American accent. Word groups.
It is.
Get up.
Try it on.
Eat out.
At 11.
Wait a minute.
What if?
Put it off. Sentences for practice.
I'll eat it a little later.
I bought an auto battery for $40.
Peter wrote a better letter.
I'd better go to the meeting at 11.
He met her at a computer store in Seattle.
It's a pity that he's getting fatter and fatter.
Tell the waiter to bring it a little later.
He bought a lot of bottles of water.
Betty's knitting a little sweater for her daughter.
It'll be better if you heat it before you eat it. The fast D between two vowels. In addition to the standard D sound, as in words like dog, day, and bed, there is another kind of D sound that occurs between two vowels and also before an L. It sounds exactly like the T between two vowels. Instead of saying ready, we say ready. It's the sound made with the tip of the tongue quickly tapping the gum bridge. Word pairs for practice. The following word pairs sound the same even though the first word is spelled with the T and the second word is spelled with the D. Since they're both between two vowels, the sounds are identical. Medal. He won a gold medal in the Olympics. Metal. My car is made out of metal. Adam. His first name is Adam. Atom. An atom is the smallest unit of an element. Hit it. My hand hurts because I hit it hard. Hit it. You can't find it because I hit it. Leader. The president is the leader of the country. Liter. How much is a liter of gasoline? Feudal. There was a feudal system in the Middle Ages. Futile meaning useless. My effort was totally futile. Individual words for fast D between two vowels. Listen to the fast D sounds in the following words. Already. Addict. Canada. Editor. Ladder. Product. Middle. Shadow. Word pairs. Add on. Made it. Hit it. Fed up. Sentences for practice.
I already added it.
Adam will edit the middle part.
Those products are made in Canada.
She had on a Prada dress.
I'm fed up with that crowded elevator.
Note: remember, if the D is within a stressed syllable, this rule does not apply. First, you will hear a word with the normal D and then one with the fast D. Adopt. Addict. Adore. Audit. T plus R sounds like an almost ch sound. When the T is followed by an R sound, the T changes and becomes an almost ch sound. Instead of saying trouble, we say trouble. Instead of saying true, we say true. To create this sound correctly, say ch as in chain, but just make the tip of the tongue a bit more tense when it touches the gum ridge and focus on creating a stop of air. t, t, t. Words for practice for T plus R.
Travel. Turkey.
Tradition. Introduce.
Translate. Interest.
Traffic. Extremely.
Turn. Terrific.
D plus R sounds almost like dr sound. When the D is followed by an R, the D changes and becomes an almost j. Instead of saying drive, we say drive. Instead of dress, we say dress. Words for practice for D plus R.
Drink. Children.
Drop. Address.
Dream. Cathedral.
Drama. 100.
Syndrome. Laundry.
Dialogues for practice for T plus R and D plus R.
Why do you travel by train?
Because the traffic is so dreadful.
What did Sandra tell the attorney?
She told him the truth about the drugs.
Have you traveled to Turkey?
Yes, that country has some interesting traditions.
I told him 100 times not to drink and drive.
I'm sure he'll try to stay out of trouble.
To tell you the truth, I'm drained from all this drama.
D plus U is usually pronounced as j, as in the word joke. Words for practice. Gradual. Schedule. Graduation.
Education. Procedure. Individual.
D plus Y is usually pronounced as j, as in joke. Did you? Would you?
Could you? Should you?
T plus U is usually pronounced as ch, as in church. Actually. Situation. Ritual.
Adventure. Virtual. Fortunate.
Statue. Nature.
Punctual. Picture.
Final T plus Y is usually pronounced as ch, as in church. Don't you? Won't you?
Can't you? Aren't you?
Sentences for practice. Did you go to his graduation?
Would you take our picture?
Why can't you be punctual?
Don't you like nature?
Actually, this is a fortunate situation.
You're adventurous, aren't you?
Why won't you do it gradually?
Can't you change your schedule?
ED endings. The final ED forms the past tense of regular verbs such as needed and worked, and some adjectives such as interested and tired. The ED can cause problems for non-native speakers because it can be pronounced in 3 different ways: as id, d, or t. Here are the 3 rules you need to know. Rule number 1. If the last letter of the word is spelled with a D or a T, the ED is pronounced as a separate syllable, id. Words for practice. Needed. Avoided.
Admitted. Separated.
Attended. Visited.
Decided. Waited.
Rule number 2. If the last letter of the word ends in a voiced consonant or a vowel sound, the E is silent and the D is pronounced as D. Words for practice. Opened. Called.
Changed. Closed.
Earned. Loved.
Pulled. Showed.
Rule number 3. If the last letter of the word ends in a voiceless consonant, the E is silent and the D is pronounced as T. Words for practice. Passed. Washed.
Helped. Watched.
Laughed. Worked.
Stopped. Liked.
Linking ED endings plus a vowel. Linking is connecting the final sound of one word to the first sound of the following word. You will need to learn to link words together to create smooth, natural speech. This is discussed in much greater detail in Chapter 8. Sound like a true native speaker. It's especially important for you to learn to link words with ED endings. The final T and D sounds are much easier to pronounce if they're connected to the vowel that follows it. For example, stayed in sounds like stayed in. Turned on sounds like turned on. Developed a sounds like developed a. Needed a sounds like needed a. Words for practice. Worried about. Looked at. Talked about.
Interested in. Worked on. Liked it.
More linking practice. ED verbs plus the word it. You will first hear a verb in the present tense, then you will hear it in the past tense ED form linked with the word it. Need. I needed it. Paint. I painted it.
Attend. I attended it. Admit. I admitted it.
Cook. I cooked it. Like. I liked it.
Watch. I watched it. Stop. I stopped it.
Use. I used it. Clean. I cleaned it.
Change. I changed it. Love. I loved it.
Conversations for practice for ED verbs. Listen to the following dialogues, which contain questions and answers, but only repeat the answers because those contain the ED verb and the word it. Make sure that you link these two words.
What did you think of the movie?
I liked it a lot.
What did you do with the money?
I deposited it in the bank.
How did you cook the chicken?
I fried it in oil.
Is the heater on?
No, I turned it off.
When did you paint the room?
I painted it last week. Dialogues for practice, job interview. Listen to the ed endings of the past tense verbs and try to determine which of the three possible sounds you hear, d, t, or id. In the first part of the job interview, each of the ed verbs is followed by a word that starts with a vowel. Make sure that you're linking these two words. Tell me about some of your experiences as a university student.
I studied accounting and finance. I graduated at the top of my class. I maintained a 4.0 GPA. I played on my college basketball team and participated in many extracurricular activities. I volunteered at the homeless shelter. I partied every weekend. I dated a lot of pretty girls. I loved every minute of it.
Describe some of your personal qualities that would make you qualified for this position.
I'm detail-oriented, highly motivated, and organized. I'm also focused and determined, and I work well in a fast-paced environment. I have an advanced knowledge of computers. I'm also college-educated and well-traveled.
The TH. The TH is one of the most difficult consonant sounds for non-native speakers. Remember, for this sound, the tip of the tongue should touch the edges of your front teeth. The tip of the tongue vibrates a bit while air flows out through your tongue and your upper teeth. It's also okay to just touch the back of the front teeth as long as the air is flowing through. There are two TH sounds in English, the voiced TH as in that and the voiceless TH as in think. Words for practice for the voiceless TH. Anything. Author. Both.
Earth. Ninth. Health.
Nothing. Thank. Thing.
Thursday. Wealthy. With.
Word pairs for the voiceless TH. With nothing. Ninth birthday.
Both methods. Third month.
Warning. Common mistake. Voiceless TH versus T. Some non-native speakers incorrectly pronounce the voiceless TH as a T, and the following words end up sounding the same. Thank, tank. Bath, bat. To correct this problem, change the position of your tongue by moving it forward to touch the teeth. Also, make sure that there's an airflow between your tongue and your teeth. Words for practice for the voiced TH.
Although. Breathe. Clothing.
Father. Mother. Rather.
This. The. Then.
They. Those. Weather. Word pairs for the voiced TH.
That clothing. This weather.
Neither brother. Mother and father. Warning. Common mistake. Voiced TH versus D. Some non-native speakers incorrectly pronounce the voiced TH as a D. The following words end up sounding the same. They, day. Breathe, breed. Again, to correct this problem, change the position of your tongue by moving it forward to touch the teeth. Also, make sure that there is a flow of air between your tongue and your teeth. Warning. Make sure that your tongue vibrates under your upper teeth. Don't bite your tongue and don't press it on your upper teeth too strongly. This will block the flow of air that is required to produce this sound correctly. The American R. Many languages have what is called a rolling R, where the tip of the tongue touches the gum ridge, similar to the D sound, but with a quick and repeated motion. It sounds like this: R, bright, Russia, from, red. In contrast, the American R is produced in the back of the mouth, and the tip of the tongue never touches anywhere inside the mouth. There are several ways to produce the American R. Try both of them and decide which one is easier for you to create. Method 1. Simply curl the tip of your tongue and pull it back a bit and keep the tongue tense. Method 2. Let the back of the tongue do all the work. Press the sides of your tongue up against the back teeth. In this case, you do not need to curl the tip of your tongue. It should sound like this: red, March, here, for. Unlike the British R, the American R is always pronounced. It's never silent. Pay particular attention to the R at the end of the word, as in for, more, far, and teacher. R at the end of the word. Words for practice.
More. Here. Her. For.
Culture. Where. Sure. Car. Word groups for final R. All of the following words have an R at the end. Make sure you pronounce each one clearly.
Four-door car. Her younger sister. They're never here. Sooner or later.
Lobster for dinner. Your older brother. 4 more over there. R before a consonant. The R before a consonant is also always pronounced in American English, but generally not pronounced in British English. Americans say morning, first, modern. In British English, these words are pronounced as morning, first, modern. Word pairs.
Important information. First person. Hard to understand. Northern California.
Early in the morning. Survive divorce. Learn German. Undergoing surgery.
30%. Modern furniture. March bargain. Perfect performance.
Advice from a successful student.
I have collected a list of words that are difficult for me to pronounce. I make up sentences from these words and I practice saying them over and over.
The American L. For the L sound, the tip of the tongue touches the gum ridge behind the upper teeth, just the same as when creating the T and D sounds. the airstream flows through the sides of the tongue. When the L occurs at the end of the word, make sure that you don't release it quickly as you would with the T or D. This will make your L sound foreign. The American L is softer and longer than the L sound of many other languages. Don't say, I feel well. Say, I feel well. Notice how the L is prolonged by keeping the tongue up longer. Warning. Common mistake. Don't round your lips when you're saying the L. This will weaken it and make it sound more like a W. Don't say people, say people. Words for practice.
Although. Call. Children.
Cold. Difficult. Felt.
Film. Little. Milk.
Myself. People. Will. Word pairs for practice.
Tall girl. Felt guilty.
Old school. Tall wall.
Cold milk. Gold medal.
Little children. 12 soldiers. L before a consonant. For Asian speakers, the L is particularly difficult to pronounce when it's followed by a consonant. If you don't correctly move your tongue, the words code and cold will sound the same. Practice the following word pairs, making sure that you clearly pronounce the L of the second word. The first word of the pair has no L sound. Word contrasts for practice.
Code. Cold. Debt. Dealt.
Toad. Told. Wide. Wild. Long vowels plus L. When a long vowel is followed by an L, put an extra sound in between. Instead of saying feel, say feel. It's almost as if you're adding an extra syllable. Words for practice. E plus ol. Feel. Steal. Deal. Real. Wheel. Heel. A plus ul. Sail. Mail. Whale. Pale. Fail. Exhale. I plus ul. Mile. While. Style. Smile. File. Trial. Oi plus ul. Oil. Toil. Spoil. Foil. Boil. Soil. U plus ul. Tool. School. Rule. Fool. Cool. Pool. L or R? Warning, common mistake. If your tongue is not touching the right place in the mouth, your L will sound like an R, and the word wall will sound like war. To correctly pronounce the L, make sure that the tip of the tongue is in the front, near the upper front teeth, when it touches the top of your mouth. If the tip of your tongue is pulled farther back in the mouth, it might sound like an R instead. use a mirror to see the position of your tongue for the L. L and R in the final position. Pay attention to the position of your tongue as you practice these two final sounds. Prolong the sounds as you concentrate on what your tongue is doing. Sound contrasts.
Feel, fear, deal, dear, stole, store, mole, more.
Bowl, bore, tile, tire, while, wire, file, fire. R and L after a consonant. When the R or L sound is after a consonant, make sure that it's strong enough to be clearly heard. Fully pronounce the first consonant before you begin the R or the L. Otherwise, fright and flight will end up sounding like fight. You can even add a short sound between the two consonants. Say fright, three. Word contrasts for practice. You will hear 3 sets of words. The first one contains no R and no L. The second one contains an R, and the third one contains an L. Fame, frame, flame. Bead, breed, bleed. Gas, grass, glass.
Fee, free, flee. Fight, fright, flight. Pay, pray, play.
Advice from a successful student.
My friend and I are both Chinese, and we are both studying accent reduction. We get together and speak only in English, and we try to correct each other's mistakes. We are able to point out a lot of mistakes to each other, even though we are not Americans. We have learned what our main weaknesses are, and now it's just a matter of reminding each other and practicing in order to break those old habits.
The V sound. To produce the V sound correctly, make sure that the lower lip touches the upper teeth. People who speak quickly have a tendency to drop this sound at the end of words. Others may confuse it with an F sound, and some others change it to a B or a W sound. Words for practice. Very. Verb. Vote.
11. Involve. Achieve.
Have. 12. 5. Sentences for practice. 5 of David's relatives live in Vienna.
Steve and Vivian will come over at 11.
I believe he will move to Vermont in November.
Whoever is involved will be investigated.
12 of us drove to the river near Vegas.
Avoid drinking vodka every day.
They served flavorful veal and a variety of vegetables.
I've been given a favorable evaluation.
I would have invited you over, but I had a fever.
They've never believed my viewpoint.
B and V sound contrasts. Non-native speakers of some languages have a hard time distinguishing between the B and the V. Remember, for the V sound, the upper teeth touch the lower lip. For the B, both lips touch and fully close so that no air escapes. Word contrasts.
Vest, best. Very, berry. Vow, bow.
Vet, bet. Curve, curb. Vote, boat. Word pairs in sentences. That's a very good berry.
That's the best vest.
Can you vote on a boat?
Park next to the curb on the curve.
I bet he's a vet. Sentences for practice.
Beverly is very busy developing her new business.
Vince loves basketball and baseball.
Ben drove to Las Vegas in his black Volvo.
I believe they've been to Virginia before.
Did Vivian have a birthday in November?
They've never been able to prove it, have they?
Cucumber and broccoli are Ben's favorite vegetables.
Gabriel was overwhelmed when he won the Nobel Prize for the novel. The W sound. The W sound requires the lips to be fully rounded and pushed forward a bit. Many non-native speakers confuse the V and the W sounds, V and W. To avoid this mistake, make sure that the bottom lip is not touching your upper teeth when you're saying the W. Let's practice saying the W to make sure you're pronouncing it correctly. Then we'll practice V and W together. Words for practice.
Always. Wish. Flower. Work.
Well. Window. Wife. Swim. QU sounds like KW. Words that are spelled with QU are pronounced as qu.
Quick. Question. Require.
Quiet. Quality. Frequent. Word pairs for practice.
White wine. Always working. Quick wedding. Powerful wind. Weak witness.
Wonderful weekend. Anywhere you wish. 20 flowers. Windshield wiper. Frequent question. V and W sound contrasts. Word contrasts. Vine, wine. Vow, wow. Vet, wet.
Vest. West. Verse. Worse. Veal. Wheel.
Word pairs. Every week. Very well. Wise investment. Weigh the vegetables. West Virginia.
Wonderful voice. White van. Valuable watch. Wear the vest. Weird video.
Sentences for practice. Victor's wife, Vicky, was very wise.
It was very warm all week.
Don't wear your valuable watch this weekend.
When will Vic weigh the vegetables?
Were you involved in Vivian's wedding plans?
Will we view the video on Wednesday?
S and Z. The letter S is sometimes pronounced as a Z sound and sometimes as a S sound. When the S follows a consonant, there are rules for how you pronounce it. But when it follows a vowel, there are no rules, so it's best to just memorize the exceptions. Warning: common mistake. The letter Z is never pronounced as a S sound. If your native language is Spanish, compare the way Americans pronounce common Spanish last names, such as Gomez, Alvarez, versus the way they're pronounced in Spanish. Rules for pronouncing S and Z. Voiceless consonants followed by an S are pronounced as S. Books. Eats.
Stops. Cats.
Makes. Helps.
Likes. Surfs.
Voiced consonants followed by an S are pronounced as Z. Eggs. Comes.
Beds. Boys.
Lives. Loans.
Cars. Feels.
When a word is spelled with a double S, it's pronounced as a S. Boss. Massive.
Less. Lesson.
Success. Essay. An extra syllable is added to words that end with an S before these consonant sounds. J. Manages. Changes.
Sh. Washes. Dishes.
Ch. Churches. Matches.
S. Bosses. Faces.
X. Boxes. Faxes. Study tip. Memorize these very common words that have a final S. The S is pronounced as a Z and not a S. Was. Is. As.
His. Hers. Has.
These. Those. Whose.
Goes. Does. Always.
Because. Warning: common mistake. The S in the prefix dis is pronounced as S and not as Z. Examples: disagree. Disorder.
Disobey. Disapprove.
Disappear. Disability. Verbs and nouns. The following words that are spelled with an S have a Z sound if they're verbs and have a S sound if they're nouns. Use, to use. Abuse, to abuse. Close, to close.
House, to house. Excuse, to excuse. Advice, to advise.
Sentence pairs for practice. Do you still use this?
No, I have no use for it anymore.
Where will they house their guests?
They have a guest house.
Does he abuse drugs?
Yes, he's getting help for his drug abuse.
Please excuse me.
I don't accept your excuse.
Would you close the door?
You do it. You're close to it.
Can you advise me on this?
Sure, I can give you some advice.
Sentences for practice. Remember to pronounce all of the final S sounds of plural nouns and of verbs with third-person singular form, he, she, and it. Say the following sentences quickly, making sure that you're not forgetting the S endings. A dishwasher washes dishes.
A bus driver drives buses.
A mechanic fixes cars.
A teacher teaches students.
A watchmaker makes watches.
A real estate agent sells houses.
Warning, common mistake. Make sure that you're not pronouncing the words this and these the same. The word this is singular and is pronounced with the short I sound and a s. The word these is plural and is pronounced with a long vowel E and a z sound. This, these. I like this book.
I like these books.
Story for practice. Listen to the following story and notice that the final S is pronounced as either s, z, or is.
Every morning he gets up early, brushes his teeth, washes his face, and eats breakfast. He kisses his wife and kids goodbye. He takes 2 buses to work. He usually manages to get to work before his coworkers. He reads his email, checks messages, and returns phone calls. He speaks with his colleagues and clients and conducts meetings. He focuses on his daily tasks and likes to take only 30 minutes for lunch.
The NG sound, ung. Don't drop the final G, but don't overpronounce it either. Don't say, I'm going shopping, and don't say, I'm going shopping. Instead, say, I'm going shopping. To create the NG sound, raise the back of the tongue and let it touch the soft palate, which is the back soft area of your mouth. Don't release your tongue when you say the G, or just release it slightly. The mistake of saying goin' shopping is that the tip of the tongue is touching the area right behind the upper front teeth for the n sound. And when you say going shopping, the mistake is that the g is released too much. Individual words. Doing. Teaching. Coming.
Listening. Being. Going.
Word pairs. Doing nothing. Something wrong. Looking young.
Wedding ring. Bring everything. Feeling strong.
Sound contrasts for N and NG, N and ng. Remember, for the N as in thin, the tip of the tongue touches the gum ridge just behind the teeth. And for the ng as in thing, the tip of the tongue is down, not touching anywhere. The back of the tongue is up, touching the soft palate, which is located in the back of your mouth. Word contrasts for N and ng. Thin, thing. Ran, rang. Fan, fang.
Win, wing. Ban, bang. Run, rung.